Hello, welcome to this video. So we'll discuss some things in the tropics today, generally in the whole tropics, in the Pacific, in the Atlantic, the Western Pacific and Africa. So let's see here. In the Eastern Pacific, we recently had tropical storm Bud formed there. So it's there. It's not expected to hit any land. So let's see the forecast. It might be a tropical storm until Friday and then dissipate a little bit. Let's see. There's some wind speed probabilities and everything, but yeah, just a tropical storm there in the ocean. No big things to worry about. But let's see like some models for the Eastern Pacific. So here, let's see, because that's tropical storm Bud there, and then the GFS is more heavy rain coming off of Central America and trying to form another system. It tries to spin up some low pressures, but it kind of forms a system by August 1st there, and very strong one, and then it dissipates a little bit. But then it has another system after that by August 5th, forming there, going north. So the GFS even has another tiny system forming by August 6th there. So the GFS is going very crazy, especially that system there by August 2nd. But none expected to hit land at this point except for a few islands there. But I don't think they have any population. But yeah, but we'll keep monitoring this. The European has tropical storm Bud there, very weak, and it doesn't have anything else, just more tropical rains. Maybe a quick spin up in a place or two, but nothing big. Let's see. And the Canadian model, tropical storm Bud, but then by June 30th, it has another system trying to form there in the Eastern Central Pacific, and by August 4th has a bigger system trying to form there in the Eastern Pacific. So banana expected to hit land at this point, but we will keep an eye on them. Let's see just the rainfall in the next 3 days for Central America. So for Mexico, in the next 3 days, already shows more than 144 millimeters in parts of central Mexico, like I showed you yesterday. So let's see, so a lot of rain around those areas just in the next 3 days. So 24 hours and 3 days. So be careful in those areas of Mexico there with some heavy rain, flash floods. Other areas of Mexico might get around 40, 50, even 60 millimeters, 70 millimeters. That's further north in the northeastern Mexico a little bit, but nothing big, just like some 80 millimeters in some areas, a little bit less. Let's see, yeah, and let's see, southern Mexico more in some areas, especially in the southwestern Mexico there, but nothing big, just some more showers and thunderstorms scattered in many areas, but and some isolated showers in other areas. But in the Yucatan, some showers, maybe a thunderstorm or two. And in Belize, in the next 3 days, like 36 millimeters, 25 millimeters, just some showers, maybe a thunderstorm or two. Guatemala, maybe some thunderstorms, 45 millimeters, 24 millimeters, 20 millimeters, let's see, 27 millimeters. Southern Belize there. Let's see, Honduras might get 44 millimeters in some areas, and El Salvador 46 millimeters in like southern El Salvador, 35 millimeters, some areas 15 millimeters, so nothing big. More rain for Guatemala, no, for Nicaragua there, especially the Caribbean side of Nicaragua, 60, 50 millimeters, 70, even some spots of 80 millimeters. Let's see, some areas there, some 80 millimeters, 69 millimeters. Further inland around 51 millimeters. The next 3 days 45, 29 millimeters, especially northern Costa Rica with southern Nicaragua more than 70 and 80 millimeters. So more thunderstorms and some rains there in northern Costa Rica. More throughout other parts of Costa Rica and some of these mountains like valleys, more than 70 and 80 millimeters. Southern Costa Rica more too, some areas. Let's see western Costa Rica a little bit. In Panama, we might get some more in these western northern areas. And this island here too, around 89 millimeters. Panama City, 39 millimeters. Let's 51 millimeters. Let's see, yeah. So for Central America, this is it. Let's see, San Andreas there belongs to Colombia, I think, around 60 millimeters. And let's see in the next 5 days. So the next 5 days, they have slightly more for Mexico, but nothing big. So 3 days, 5 days more further north here, like these areas there. So let's see a little bit more in some areas. Let's see, but especially those areas in the next 3 days there, and maybe a little bit more rain the next 5 days. Let's see, 54 millimeters, but especially in southern Mexico there, next 3 days, the next 5 days, might get more in some areas of southern Mexico. Especially these areas here of southernmost Mexico, and more than 90 millimeters the next 5 days. Guatemala, especially near the Pacific, more than 70, 60 millimeters. Belize might get more along the coast, about 70 and even 80 millimeters. That's sea like 81 millimeters. Let's see, southern Belize too, some more inland areas a little bit less, but Honduras, northern Honduras, more than 70 millimeters, 47 millimeters. Let's see, Nicaragua, especially some of these islands and coastal areas, more than 100 millimeters, 90 millimeters, 99 millimeters, 104 millimeters in parts of western Nicaragua, northern Costa Rica, more than 106 millimeters the next 5 days. Some other areas of Nicaragua, 74 is 60 millimeters, depends on where you're at. Costa Rica, yeah, I showed you there in the north, more than 90, 100 millimeters. Some of these valleys around 80 and even more millimeters, might be some thunderstorms and rains. Panama, a little bit more in some areas, but no big changes. 3 days, yeah, it increases in the next 5 days. So let's see, Panama City, 54 millimeters. Let's see some 80 millimeters in the south. Yeah, this is mainly it. So this is the Euro, and the GFS is kind of different. So the European had less rain than the GFS, but the GFS has more rain around Panama. The GFS has more than 133 millimeters of rain parts of Panama, southern Costa Rica 140. In the next 5 days, more than 122 millimeters in parts of Costa Rica. And look, take a look at Nicaragua. So this is the GFS, and this is the Euro. So the GFS is getting a lot more for northern Nicaragua the next 5 days, all the way to 200 millimeters in a spot or two. So yeah, be aware. So I trust more the Euro, but any model can be right, and this forecast can change many times. So always be aware. 120 millimeters. It shows in Belize that a similar thing, but a little bit more, I think. Honduras, but it doesn't have nearly as much for Mexico. So the Euro had all of this for Mexico, and the GFS had only this for Mexico. So the next 5 days, so it has less than the Euro, but still like 80 millimeters in some areas. So yeah, be aware in those areas, but it might be less there according to the Euro. And the icon in the next 5 days has similar to the Euro, but not as much in Mexico, more like southern Mexico, near Belize, more Guatemala, but it has more near Nicaragua there, in those islands, around 151 millimeters. And let's see the next 5 days. Yeah, so this is mainly it for the Eastern Pacific and Central America. Let's see now the Central, no, the Western Pacific. We have still tropical storm Gaemi there. It's now, I think its core is over China. And we have another disturbance just south of the Philippines that could form later. It's still a low chance of development there. So let's see some models. Western Pacific, tropical storm Gaemi there, and then it goes inland, more heavy rains over China. It keeps going, and the remnants curve into northern China there, brings some more heavy rains in those areas. And then it keeps curving, some leftover rains maybe towards Japan later. But the GFS has this other system forming there from that new disturbance, and then it goes north. It kind of tries to go towards Taiwan again. Let's hope this doesn't happen because they just had a violent typhoon, but it tries to head towards Taiwan again according to the GFS. The GFS also has some crazy systems up there, probably not tropical, and then it has some stuff spinning later, but nothing else. Just maybe some more heavy rain later, another low pressure there by August 9th, but yeah, nothing else. Mainly this other disturbance there we are watching. So let's see here. So let's see the Euro, the zero C. So tropical storm Gaemi, and then you will also pick up the other disturbance there. It's kind of weak, but it generally goes north and dissipates before it gets to Taiwan. But yeah, something like that. And then it doesn't have anything else big later. The Canadian model, tropical storm Gaemi, it also has the other disturbance there, forming something weak, but kind of weakening more before it gets to Taiwan and like dissipating, and it has nothing else later. So yeah, we better keep watching that other disturbance there and stay safe in China from the rest of the heavy rains on this storm. So, and actually Typhoon Gaemi did a pretty crazy thing. So let me see if I can show you here. So this was the track. So it didn't go straight to Taiwan and make landfall in northern Taiwan. Before it made landfall, it curved south, and then it went up again and made landfall later, like a little bit more south in Taiwan. So it was forecasted to go straight, but then it dipped south and went into Taiwan. Maybe some influence by the mountains or something. So that was kind of crazy. And we have the other disturbance there and the other things. So yeah, let's see. So to make this quicker, we'll just check in the next 5 days the rains here. So but we'll take a quick look at the 3-day totals. So the 3-day totals are like this. More for Taiwan, it's showing. More for China, the remnants of the system. More in Western India, other parts of India, Myanmar, Thailand. But that in Taiwan and Eastern China is mainly in the next 24 hours. So in the next 12 hours, it's still showing more rain from some remnants of the system in Taiwan as some past rain bands go by it. So still some more rain there. Next 24 hours, next 3 days, next 5 days. So for Southeast Asia, the next 5 days, the Euro has more than 200 millimeters along the coast of Myanmar. Let's see, 200, 250, and even more than 300 millimeters in some areas there, 362 millimeters. So very vigorous monsoon there. Be careful with the heavy rain and floods and everything. So further south in Myanmar, more 200, 100 millimeters. Even Western Thailand is more than 100 millimeters in Western Thailand. Let's see some other areas of Thailand, especially southern Thailand there, more than 200. Some other spots might get more, but that may vary. Northeastern Thailand might get more than 100 millimeters as well, and some other areas there. So yeah, and Cambodia, especially southern Cambodia along the coast, might get more than 100. some areas 30, 40, 70 millimeters, 80, but especially northeastern Cambodia there might get more than 100 millimeters the next 5 days. And Laos, southern Laos still has more than 100 millimeters, some is 70, 100 millimeters, but northern Laos is getting more. So more heavy rains there. Northeastern Thailand, north central Laos. This is not northern Laos is there. This is like central Laos. So more than 162 millimeters in parts of central Laos in the next 5 days. So be aware there. Northernmost Laos might get more than 200, 100 in some areas, mainly from the remnants of the system in Vietnam there, the tropical storm that hit. So northernmost Laos is like here, about 143 millimeters in northern Laos, but northernmost Vietnam, so this area is actually Vietnam, might get more than 200 millimeters in parts of northern Vietnam from the remnants of that system. That's northwestern Vietnam. Northeastern Vietnam still might get more there. Let's see, southern China, still some more heavy rains, lots of humidity. Let's see, but central Vietnam is kind of quiet, just some showers in some areas, but it's mainly quiet. But southern Vietnam might get some tropical rains, so 98, 100 millimeters the next 5 days. So let's see India. So western India is kind of 71 millimeters. Further north 200 millimeters, 258. So a lot of rain still coming from western India from the monsoon. Continue to be careful with flash floods, heavy rain. Let's see, still some storms in central India, but less than before. But still showing 200, more than 200, 300 millimeters of rain parts of central India the next 5 days, 100 millimeters. All these areas might get some intense storms, 100 to 27 millimeters. In more areas, southern India, Sri Lanka, a little bit less, except southwestern Sri Lanka. But these areas of central, northern India, and eastern India might get some more heavy rain, especially those areas in central India and the monsoon in western India. Wait. Wait. What happened here? Sorry. Sorry. I don't know what happened. So, let's see. So, be careful there in India in the next 5 days. And let's see. He shows you even to 300 millimeters there from the storms. Northern India shows some 30, 50, and even 100 millimeters in a spot or two, but nothing crazy there, just some more rains, but be aware anyways. Northeastern India might get more than 124 millimeters in some areas, was 100, 198, let's see, 60 millimeters around Nepal. Some areas in Nepal might get more, but this varies a lot, but 134 millimeters, 115, for the south 45 millimeters, yeah. So some more rains in Nepal, but other areas of northeastern India might get 147, 143 millimeters. Bangladesh, southern Bangladesh might get more than 50, 40 millimeters the next 5 days. But southernmost Bangladesh, together with Myanmar, more than 160 millimeters. So some areas of China there shows more than 90, 50, 80 millimeters. But northern Myanmar shows still some very heavy rains, 100, 200 millimeters there, 165, 208. So be aware there. Let's see. Northern Pakistan might get some more rains, some more showers in the south, nothing big. Let's see China. So eastern China, it shows more than 300 millimeters, 100, 200 from the system that's currently there now, the remnants of Typhoon Gaemi. So 100, 200. So just a lot of rain there the next 5 days and 3 days. So most of this will be in the next 3 days. So, and then the remnants go further north, and then together with some other storm systems, so you might get more than 100, 200, even 300 millimeters parts of northern China going into North Korea in the next 5 days. So be aware in northern China, more heavy rains and storms from the remnants of this system. Let's see, some rain spreads over to eastern Mongolia, a little bit more rain in northern China, southeastern Russia. Let's see, some more rains in parts of Russia, eastern Russia. Let's see, but especially Japan there, around 127 millimeters. So next 3 days, just some 67, 100 millimeters. But next 5 days, more than 149 millimeters in parts of Japan. This is the European model, so probably some other storm systems and the remnants of Gaemi. So 198, almost 200, especially these north central areas of Japan. So be aware there. For the south, 50 millimeters, a little bit less. Tokyo doing good, but be aware in those other areas. For the north, a little bit as well. So yeah, let's see southern Japan, some more showers and stuff. Taiwan there, still from the remnants of this system, you might get more than 100 millimeters of rain in some areas, other areas less. Some islands of Japan still might get a little bit of rain, maybe some thunderstorms. So let's see, but the Philippines there, 174, still the northwestern Philippines, more than 100 millimeters, 162, 131, 119, 120 millimeters the next 5 days. So be aware, the northern Philippines might be flood advisories and stuff. Other areas of the Philippines around 50, 40 millimeters, like between 20 and 70 millimeters in other areas of the Philippines the next 5 days. Some more rains and scattered thunderstorms. Let's see, in Indonesia doing good, just some rains in some areas, but nothing big. Let's see, some areas a little bit more than other areas. Brunei a little bit, Malaysia. Let's see, especially Papua New Guinea there shows more the next 5 days. It depends on your location, but there are some specific locations showing a lot there. Western Guinea, especially Papua New Guinea there, more than 100 millimeters in some areas. Some more areas around 60, 30, 44 millimeters. Let's see, the Solomon Islands might get some 80, 70, 60, even more than 100 millimeters the next 5 days. Some more tropical rains still occurring. So next 3 days and next 5 days in the Solomon Islands. Let's see, along the tropical convergence zone, yeah, more rain there, some showers in Hawaii, and maybe some more rain in Micronesia, the Marshall Islands, around 70 millimeters, 90 millimeters. More rain near Palau, but in the island itself, not as much. More rain in some islands of Micronesia. Yeah, so be aware. Let's see for Africa now. So in the next 3 days, mainly in Central Africa, Ethiopia, South Sudan, Southern Sudan, Central African Republic, Chad, Nigeria, Guinea, especially Western Africa there, might get more. The next 5 days, it shows more rain for Southern Chad, some areas of Sudan and Chad there, more than 100 millimeters, might be lots of thunderstorms from the tropical waves and everything. So 50 millimeters in Ethiopia, some areas of 60, 70 millimeters, even 100 parts of Ethiopia. So yeah, let's see Kenya, not much, mainly in north and western Kenya. Let's see Uganda, some rain mainly in the north, more rain there. South Sudan, more in the north there. Let's see Cameroon, it shows some areas of more rain in Nigeria, especially like Western Africa as these tropical waves leave. It's showing more than 265 millimeters of rain in parts of Guinea there, in Sierra Leone, more than 100 millimeters in Sierra Leone. So the Ivory Coast there, more than 100 millimeters in some areas. Further south a little bit less, more the north there. Then Senegal, some rain in the south. some other areas. Southern Mali, more rain, close to 180 millimeters. Liberia, especially northwestern Liberia, a lot of rain. Further south a little bit less. And let's see here, the rest is kind of quiet. And finally, the Caribbean. Let's see, in the next 5 days it shows some showers in the Lesser Antilles. Trinidad and Tobago, more rain, especially some areas there around 40 millimeters. So yeah, maybe some isolated thunderstorms and some showers. We already talked about Central America. Let's see, more showers in Cuba, especially storms, because maybe some afternoon and evening storms there in the next 5 days. Some more showers in Jamaica, maybe a thunderstorm or two. Some showers in Haiti, the Dominican Republic, maybe some more orographic storms. More in the Turks and Caicos, only some showers. In the Bahamas, some showers, maybe a storm or two. In Puerto Rico, maybe a storm or two and some showers. So this is the next 5 days. But the next 10 days, the European is not showing much that system there anymore, but it's showing more towards like Florida and near the Bahamas in the next 10 days. In the next 10 days, we have a lot of more rain in Central America, some more there, but let's focus on 5 days for now. But let's see here, regions, North Atlantic. So the operational European from today, the 0Z, is not showing that system anymore there, like it showed yesterday. There are still some probabilities, but it's not showing anymore. And the ensembles here, let's jump to 240 hours. So there are less members than yesterday. Yesterday was crowded with members here. There are a little bit less than yesterday, but there are still some probabilities of something forming there. And even later, it shows some other probabilities there, even in the Caribbean, but those are small. But we'll keep watching those areas there. But probabilities have gone down a little bit, but we still could have something. And let's see here, the GFS. It has some tropical rains there, mainly Central America, but it doesn't have anything for me there still. So yeah, this is mainly it, I think. Let me see if there's something else important here. That invest near the Philippines might go north there, maybe towards Taiwan, but nothing crazy. And I already showed you. Let's see if we have some dust, still some dust affecting the Caribbean there in many areas. Let's see here, rainfall accumulation. So GFS here, sorry. So I just want to show the difference from the GFS. It also has the storms in India, Myanmar, China there, but the GFS has more in eastern China. Those light pinks are more than 300, 400 millimeters. So be careful, there are more in northern China, North Korea, Japan. Yeah, so this is mainly it. If you have any questions about any other areas, tell us in the comments, and we'll try to make more updates later. Let's just see some temperatures around the 30s in parts of Cuba, 20s and 30s in the Caribbean, hot in Mexico there, parts of Central America. Central Africa is quite fine in the 20s, and yeah, it's very hot in Northern Africa, still some 30s and 40s there. But yeah, let's see. And Pakistan and India, especially Pakistan, shows more than 44 degrees still. India, northern India, high in the 30s. Other areas a little bit less. Very hot in Vietnam and China too. Yeah, so this video is already very long, so thanks for watching. Stay safe.